The secret to teaching kids not to interrupt, a foundation for their future success. Hello everyone. Today I want to share with you a topic that I believe every parent will find relatable and incredibly important: how to teach our children not to interrupt adults. This isn't just a basic communication skill, it's the groundwork for raising kids who grow up polite, respectful, and capable of building strong, lasting relationships. I've been there, feeling flustered when my little one cuts in while I'm mid-conversation. And I know many of you have too. So, let's dive into some simple yet powerful ways to guide our kids toward better habits. First, let's touch on the key points we'll explore today. Why do kids interrupt so often? Is it boredom, impulsiveness, or just not knowing how to talk properly yet? Then, I'll share how we can lead by example, because our actions are the most vivid lessons for them. We'll also talk about setting rules for respect, teaching polite communication, and finally, how to avoid accidentally encouraging their interrupting habits. Each part is a stepping stone to help your child shine in how they interact with the world. Ready? Let's get started. Why do kids love interrupting us? Friends, have you ever been chatting with someone when your little one suddenly jumps in? I have, and sometimes I wonder, why does this keep happening? The truth is, the reasons are closer to home than we might think. Kids often interrupt because they're bored. When we're caught up talking about grown-up things, like work or weekend plans, and they're left out, they'll cut in to entertain themselves or grab our attention. A study by Tullett and Inslicht from 2010 even points out that boredom is a big driver behind this behavior. But that's not all. Sometimes, kids interrupt because they can't yet control their impulses. You know how it is. Kids are like little bursts of wind. Whatever pops into their heads comes tumbling out. No matter who's already talking, they might steamroll over us just to get their thoughts out, without realizing it's disruptive. And here's something that really hit me. Some kids interrupt because they haven't learned the social skills to know better. They don't understand that jumping in while someone's speaking is rude. That's when I realized we, as parents, have the chance, and the responsibility, to guide them step by step toward understanding and changing. Be a role model for your little one. You know, I truly believe our kids are mirrors of us. If we want them not to interrupt, we've got to show them how it's done first. I'll admit, it's not always easy, especially if you've got a chatty little orator at home who never stops talking. But picture this: if I cut my child off while they're excitedly sharing a story, what will they think? They'll assume interrupting is just how people talk to each other. So, I remind myself to be patient, to listen until they're done, and only step in when I really need to. Of course, there are moments when we can't wait, like when they're spinning a long tale to delay bedtime. But I've learned to handle it gently. I might say, "I'm sorry for interrupting you, sweetie, but it's bedtime now. You can tell me the rest tomorrow." Or if I'm in a rush, "I'll try. I'd love to hear the end of your story, but let's get your shoes on so we can head out." This way, they see that interrupting isn't ideal. But if it has to happen, there's a polite way to do it. I want them to feel respected by me, and I hope they'll carry that respect forward to others. Set rules about respect. Do you agree with me that teaching kids not to interrupt is also about teaching them respect? I love sitting down with my child and explaining it simply. When you interrupt someone, it might make them sad because they haven't finished their thought. Waiting your turn shows them you care about what they're saying. Research from Tarullo and colleagues in 2009 backs this up. Kids need to see how their actions affect others' feelings. But I don't want to be too rigid. I never tell my child, "You can never interrupt anyone," because sometimes it's necessary. What if they see their sibling about to fall or something dangerous is happening? I want them to speak up right away. So, I explain that in emergencies, like when safety's at stake, it's okay to jump in. Otherwise, patience is the way to go. It's all about helping them grasp the rule while knowing when it's okay to bend it. Guide your child to communicate politely. Friends, have you ever told your kid, "You need to wait your turn," only to see them stare back, clueless about what to do? I've been there, and I realized just telling them isn't enough. Little ones don't always spot the pauses in a conversation where they can step in. So, I started teaching mine specific ways to get attention without interrupting. For example, if I'm talking to a friend and my child wants to ask to go play outside, I tell them, "You can put your hand on my leg to let me know you've got something to say." When I feel that signal, I'll pause and ask, "What's on your mind, sweetheart?" It's so simple but works wonders. It teaches patience and a polite way to join in. I'm convinced these little steps will help them grow into thoughtful communicators. Don't accidentally reward interruptions. Here's something to think about. Sometimes, we're the ones accidentally rewarding their interruptions. When they cut in and I stop everything to respond, they learn, "Oh, interrupting gets me noticed fast." So, I've started doing things differently. Instead of jumping to answer, I'll say gently, "It's not polite to interrupt while I'm talking. I'll answer you in a minute. Okay?" If they keep at it, I've found ignoring them works best. It's tough, I know, but it shows them interrupting won't get them what they want. On the flip side, whenever they wait patiently, I make a big deal out of it. "Thank you for waiting your turn. You're amazing." Those little praises go a long way. Reinforcing the good stuff turns out to be the key to breaking that interrupting habit. A heartfelt wrap-up. Dear friends, teaching our kids not to interrupt isn't just about a skill. It's about giving them a precious gift: respect and the ability to connect with others. I hope these ideas leave you feeling more confident on your parenting journey. Be patient, led by example, and guide them one small step at a time. With our love and care, I know our kids will grow into incredible people. Thank you so much for listening. And here's to happy families everywhere.